We should be going live. There we go. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and all of you potential Toastmasters out there, whether you're watching live in real time or you're viewing this recorded. This is Wake Up with Toastmasters. My name is Ken Richardson. I'm your Program Quality Director. With me today is my co-host, Distinguished Toastmaster, past District Director. And it looks like you're the timer today, Phyllis.
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, you have to have a timer.
Well, we do, because we frequently sort of get lost in our conversations and our discussions, and suddenly the 30 minutes is over. But anyway, our guest today is also Distinguished Toastmaster and past District Director, Guy Dawson. How you doing, Guy?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for being for keeping this platform going. I really think that Wake Up with Toastmasters is an excellent opportunity for our members in our district to get the word out about your clubs, and I really appreciate what you guys have done with this platform. Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we're always glad to learn about your individual Toastmaster journey and what's going on with your club. So why don't we start with that? How did you get involved with Toastmasters in the beginning, Guy?
I joined Toastmasters in 2007, and I was trying to figure out what the first date was that I actually submitted my application. It was April 1st, 2007. And I had been introduced to Toastmasters several times through friends of mine, and then I visited a club that I've been a member of ever since, Windjammers Toastmasters, and I just fell in love with it right off the bat. I could see how Toastmasters was going to be something that would enhance my life. I love the energy in the room. I love the whole educational aspect of it, and I had specific goals at that time. I wanted to become a professional speaker. And I felt like Toastmasters would be a great environment for me to be able to do that. And so I have been, by the way, all these filler words. I hope you're not the odd counter, Phyllis, because I've already counted 7 filler words. I've got to slow down and audible pauses, pause between thoughts. But yes, I thought that Windjammers was a great club to be a part of. And I have been in this organization ever since. Enjoyed the journey.
Well, tell us a bit about Toastmasters is your latest project, your club project. Tell us a little bit about how that evolved.
Toastmasters is a vehicle that is a part of an organization that we've been developing since 2015 called the Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce. And the reason why I decided to bring a Toastmaster club and attach it to the organization, or I proposed it to the board and everyone thought that it was a great idea that we do that, is that I've seen the success that other Toastmaster clubs that have been affiliated with chambers of commerce have had. It's a great opportunity to create more value for your members and your affiliates. We have people who are members of the Cause Marketing Chamber, but we also have a lot of people who are affiliated with us. They attend our events, they're prospective members. Creating a Toastmaster club is always a great way to give the people in your organization something to do that is very constructive, that's going to help them. And so many years in Toastmasters and having started quite a few clubs, I understood that you bring value whenever you create a Toastmaster club. We got our club started in 2019, and then of course we had some interesting twists and turns that have happened since then, and yet we've been able to maintain this club because the people that are members of the chamber and our affiliates see the value in it. It's a constructive way for them to get involved in something that will enhance their business or the field that they're in, and also connect them with other members of the Cause Marketing Chamber.
Well, you know, it's interesting, all three of us, and I'm gonna ask Phyllis her experience first and then come back to you, Guy. But all three of us were around pre and post pandemic. So my question, Phyllis, and I know you have Holistic as one of your clubs that you've been working with for years. What do you see that's different in terms of recruiting members pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic?
I think that it is that when you can bring a member in personally to a club that's in person, you get a sale better than having them connect up online. There's just not the group attendance, the togetherness, I guess is it. You want to feel that you're in the club. And when you're online, all you feel is individual. That's me. I'm sitting here individual. I'm not in a group with the two of you. I'm individual. And when you walk into an in-person meeting, you're part of the group. And I think that it's easier. People understand more about the Toastmaster program when they have all of this power that comes from in-person meetings. I know it's easy to do Zoom. I know everybody likes it. They don't have to go shower, wash their hair, and put on makeup and go out. But folks, if you really want the Toastmaster experience, in person is the way to get it. And I think that's one of the reasons why both Guy and I are part of Holistic. We've gone from 5 members to 12 members and just done that in the last 6 months. So in October, we only had 5. Today we have 12, and I think that that is part of it. They get the feeling of belonging and wanting to participate.
Would you agree with that assessment, Guy? What do you think about the challenges pre and post pandemic?
I agree with Phyllis. We made do with what we had. We weren't able to meet in person during that time because everything shut down. All of our meeting places shut. The places where we hosted meetings, many of them, we met in restaurants and all these different places that weren't open. We had to do what we had to do, which was switch to the online platform. I think that the online platform is a good substitute for real Toastmasters. That's why you're seeing so many clubs that are going with a hybrid platform. I know all 3 of the clubs that I'm a member of do have the hybrid platform. However, I do agree with Phyllis. It's definitely a different experience actually being in person at a Toastmaster meeting as compared to doing it online. I do think it's a great supplement. If you don't have the ability to get to an in-person meeting, I think it's better than not participating at all. I believe that it's connected us because you have in a lot of these clubs members from all over the world now, which there's a whole educational aspect of that as well, being able to have these members from different states, different countries. I think in some ways, definitely it broadened the horizons of Toastmasters. Overall, I agree with what Phyllis said, though. There's nothing like walking up to the lectern and shaking the hands of the Toastmaster. Nothing replaces that online.
What do you think, Guy and Phyllis, about the challenges of a hybrid meeting? Because I know that my club, my home club, Early Risers, we tried to make that we're online only right now. Whereas pre-pandemic, we were in person. And now we're online. We did try to transition to hybrid, but it didn't work very well. And I suspect part of it was just inexperience on our part. So how do you see the challenges of, it takes a lot of equipment to really do a hybrid meeting. What do you think? How does that impact your attendance, do you think?
I'm going to say that for our 2 clubs that I'm in with Guy, it's Guy. He decided that was the best way to go. And he kept working at it until it made sense and the setup worked each time. You've got to have somebody in your club, I believe, that's willing to take on the technology and make it work. Otherwise, you just don't walk in and plug in a computer and say, okay, we're hybrid. That's never going to work.
Have you been to Windjammers lately? I mean, they have like 2 or 3 computers set up and different cameras.
Dana's really a techie, so she's taking it to the other level. She and I worked a lot on that, but I hadn't been in Windjammers for a while. I went yesterday and she has really gotten it down.
Next level stuff. Yeah, I was there last week. I went there for their club contest, and I was blown away by how in depth they've really taken on the technology and embraced it and made it real. And for my club, we do have a member who lives in the Philippines. He's from Las Vegas, I think, originally, but he's a software engineer, and his employer has a big presence in Manila. So he attends on Wednesday mornings when I think he's like 8 hours ahead of us or something like that, 8 or 10, I don't know. But it works for him because it's early evening, so he's off work and we're just getting up. So I do appreciate the value of hybrid, and I do think it's going to continue to improve going forward as things get stronger in terms of internet connections, computers get better, the platforms get better. I think we're going to find it a little bit easier to deal with going forward, but I don't really know how long that's going to take. In the interim, though, I have to agree with you, Guy, and you, Phyllis, that being able to offer a hybrid platform for your members is a great asset if you can do it. Having said that, I also know that both Bon Appetit and Saturday Morning Live, I'm in Bon Appetit and my wife is in Saturday Morning Live, but we went through that phase of hybrid, and we noticed that the attendance online kept declining because people wanted to be in person. So what happened is now both of those clubs are strictly in person. I don't know what happened if we had, someone who couldn't make the meeting. We might be able to make some accommodations, but it's interesting to see the variety that has challenged us really since the pandemic. So what do you think, Guy? I know you're kind of a techie, right? You're in the tech world. You do a lot of social platform advertising and what have you. What do you see as the future of the hybrid platform?
I embrace technology. I'm not necessarily really a techie, but I do understand the value of the technology. That's one of the reasons why in the clubs that I'm a member of, I could just see where there was an opportunity with the hybrid platform that you were going to be able to capture certain members as a result of being able to offer that option. I do feel that there are clubs that make a decision not to use the hybrid platform, and they're going to do just fine because every club has its own culture. As you can see, there are clubs out there that are doing very well. They're getting in-person meetings. People that research that club know that the only option they have is to be there in person. Those clubs are going to do, I think, very well with that particular audience. I definitely can see that. The clubs that I'm a part of, we just make it a part of our marketing strategy that there is the online component. And so we tend to get, well, I don't know Phyllis, because Phyllis is in 2 of the clubs that I'm involved in with this, she mentioned, and we get a pretty good balance of online and in person. We get members who sometimes come in person, and then there are times when they just can't make it, and so they attend online. It's been interesting to see the way that it has evolved. I remember with Holistic Toastmasters, when we got our new meeting space, it was a couple months before we got everyone to come in person. And it was great that we had the ability to stay connected with the members of our group until people felt more comfortable about coming out. And then they started to come in person, those who live in Las Vegas. and to begin to experience what Toastmasters was all about. But now everyone knows that because of our commitment, you have to be really committed to the technology. I think that's the biggest thing, Ken. It's not so much that a person is a techie, although that does help, but just the commitment to doing it and making it work. The other day at Holistic Toastmasters, we had some technological problems with one of the devices. Through the experience that we've had, I know that no matter what, I can make the phone work. If all else fails, and it fails. And that's one of the discouraging things that people have, is these bad experiences with the internet or their devices. You just have to make it work no matter what. Be committed. And the members of your club, their support of the technology also matters a lot. It doesn't matter how tech savvy a person is, if they don't get the buy-in from the members of the club that, yes, this is important to us, you'll have challenges with it. But once the club has realized we're a hybrid club, this is what we believe in, we can invite people to attend online or in person. It has worked very well for the clubs that I'm a member of.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I know Phyllis has had challenges with technology. But you know, the thing, I have to brag on her. She's so sweet and determined,
Yes,
that
she
does not let that slow her down. But it has also changed the way we do recruitment and marketing, hasn't it, a bit? What kind of platforms do you think? I mean, we get a lot of referrals from Meetup, and I'm still learning stuff about Meetup. What do you think is the most effective social media in terms of recruiting new members? Either one of you, Phyllis or Guy, what do you think?
Well, we do use Meetup, and it does seem to do recruitment. And then we have somebody that's taken on doing various flyers. The one I like is Do What You Love, and it talks all about Toastmasters helping with those projects. So it's always great to have someone in your club that wants to make flyers, then post them at the various media places. We've heard from Facebook people, but mainly it seems like it's Meetup that we hear most about.
Well, one of the things, and Guy, I'll direct this to you, that Toastmasters International has focused on is LinkedIn. And they chose that because, as my understanding, for background, that's a platform that attracts young to middle-aged professionals. And therefore, that's their target group. What do you think, Guy? Is LinkedIn a better platform? Have you seen any differences between your recruitment efforts, say with LinkedIn versus Meetup or any other platform?
I think LinkedIn has been an underused platform for recruitment in Toastmasters. It does fit the demographic of what Toastmasters is seeking in membership. I do know that, and I can see why they'd be moving in the direction of really training the clubs to recruit. I think it's underused. That's one of the reasons why they're focusing on it so much. I also feel that there are a lot of different places that you can find members. Facebook works really well. Of course, as Phyllis mentioned, we've had Meetup accounts for many years, and we've recruited a lot of members through Meetup. I think your presence, just the fact that people can go online and Google things, and the fact that your club comes up and they can go to the social media. If they see that you've been consistent with posting things on your social media, then there's a chance that they'd be interested in visiting your club. YouTube is also a great platform, I think, because they're looking for things related to public speaking, communication. The hashtags and the algorithms of YouTube are great. If you're regularly posting speeches that are being presented in your Toastmaster Club on your YouTube channel, they can go over there and watch people actually doing this. I think that that's also a great place. And of course, just the websites themselves, the websites that you have for your Toastmaster Club. We talk so much about the importance of keeping your website updated and current with information so they can get in contact with the officers. A lot of people find Toastmaster clubs through just Googling Toastmasters. And so I think that that's also really important. Your online presence is a very, very important thing. Of course, in a lot of ways, I'm very old school when it comes to Toastmasters, because I believe that the best way to attract members is through people you know. I still believe that, even though there are all these techniques that exist now that didn't exist when I joined Toastmasters, or we weren't really using online tools. I know, Ken, you've been a member for a long time as well. Online tools were not the focus of bringing people into Toastmasters in 2007 or back in the 90s when Phyllis joined. And we still brought in a lot of members. So I think it's important that we embrace the technology. Yes, social media online is definitely a significant aspect of recruitment in Toastmasters. Let's not let go of the one thing that works the best, in my opinion, and that is reaching out to your colleagues, your friends, your families, people who you think would be interested in joining a club, and just asking them to come.
So you when you joined, that was the mechanism that got you interested, right? You had someone invite you to the club. Is that,
Yes.
Did I hear that right? Okay. I did have a slightly different experience. I joined also the same year you did, Guy, in 2007. And I know when my membership application was processed, it was August 1st, 2007, from early risers. But my experience was a little different. I gave a lot of presentations in my work, and I didn't think I was very good at it, or, I wanted to get better. So I went online and then did the find a club. And then that's how I found early risers. And because at the time it was really perfect, because they met, and they still do, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. They were meeting in a location at the time that was on my way to work. So it was really easy for me to just leave a little early, go attend the meeting, and it's over by 7:30, and I'm in the office by 8 or 8:30 at the latest. It was perfect. So that's kind of what got me. And I know that the current, and I wanted to ask you also about this, we talked about LinkedIn and the TI push, and their methodology, I wanted to sort of just touch on. What they are doing is they have clickable links, and there's like two varieties. One where they'll pose a question. Would you like to know more about public speaking, for example? There's a question, click here, and it'll take them to the TI website, and they can download a brochure or that kind of stuff. And then the other is, are you interested in finding a club? And that's a clickable on LinkedIn that takes them to find a club where they can search a club. What do you think about that strategy, Guy? I know that you're in communications yourself, and I was wondering, is that the right strategy to engage new members?
I do think that making it super simple with the technology works. Again, LinkedIn is a great pool for what the demographic of our organization is. And so as long as you can create something that is user-friendly for everyone, because we have varying degrees of ability to use technology. That's something that I think it's important that we're always mindful of. As much as I love technology, I have challenges with it. And I know that people around me do. And then there are the people that are just really good. They love the technology. As you mentioned, even in 2007, your methodology for finding a club was going online. It's figuring out how to cater to all the different interests. And I do think LinkedIn, as far as an online platform to tap into that demographic, professionals who are looking for a lot of times personal development or growth, or they're wanting to improve their communication skills so that they can get a raise on their job or run their businesses more effectively, that it should definitely be taken advantage of. But creating something that's clickable and easy so that The reason why I say easy when it comes to technology is because if it's easy, people who are very technologically savvy are going to just run with it because it's easy for them. If you make it easy for people who aren't necessarily technologically savvy, then you make it inviting to them. I feel that that's an important aspect. A lot of times technologically smart people, they're just so smart at it, they don't look at it from the perspective of the person who is maybe not that technologically advanced. And I know that's challenging because you're very competent, right? A lot of times, but you have the end user, really studying the end user and how different they are is an important thing. But I believe Toastmasters is absolutely on the right track. Hybrid or online meetings are here to stay. And you can use LinkedIn because it's an online platform, definitely as a great pool to recruit members through.
I want to share with you some comments from our online audience. We have Jennifer Smith online. I think both of you know Jennifer. She joined. Yeah, say hi to Jennifer. She joined through Facebook. She found a Toastmaster club through Facebook. But she says, and I can understand this, she doesn't like the LinkedIn promotion because she doesn't like to click on links. And I think that's a very good point because so oftentimes when someone is trying to get you to click on a link, it's a spam, kind of thing, or it's not a reliable link. So that's another obstacle that has to be overcome. Any thoughts about that, Guy or Phyllis? What's your experience?
I would say that no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that can mess it up. It's out there 100%. They'll work at it until they ruin it.
Sadly, I think you're right. I mean, I can't tell you how many times and that I've looked at something and thought, oh, I need to follow this link. And then I'll stop and think because, for example, people's accounts get hijacked, and I'll get an email from someone who's a friend, let's say Guy Dawson.
Yeah.
And it says, hey, I forgot to send you these pictures, and they want me to click. Well, I know from knowing the person that's supposed to be sending that, that's not the way they would phrase it. That's not what they would say. So I'm familiar enough with those that they try, but it took me a while to really learn that don't do that. Well, I see we've got about 3 minutes left. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to share with our group, Guy, or promote your club?
Yes, I just want to invite everyone to attend Toastmasters. We meet on the first and third Friday of every month. At 8 a.m. in person at Skinny Dugan's Restaurant over on Charleston near Decatur. If you'd like to be a part of our meeting in person, we'd love to have you. Or again, you have the option to join online. You can go to our website and you can get the link for Toastmasters there. As you had mentioned, we have social media presence on multiple social media sites. We have a Meetup page, a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page. So just to piggyback on what you were talking about, Ken, Toastmasters has its promotion for encouraging clubs to use LinkedIn. Another suggestion that I have is get a lot of success from LinkedIn pages. As you're in your individual club, what you might want to do is create your own LinkedIn page. And that way you can promote your club in that way. And you can also create your own events on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn events are very effective. And it's making me think about the fact that I need pages for my clubs. Just mentioning this to you because I've had so much success with LinkedIn events.
Okay, I think that's
so that would be one approach. That if you had the challenges that you had mentioned, there's always more than one way to skin a cat, as we say. There's different ways that you can utilize the technology to work for you. LinkedIn events are actually very, very effective.
Okay, I'm going to look into that because, as we've talked, the social media platforms are very robust, and I know that I don't take full advantage of them, and I should. Phyllis, you have any final thoughts? We're at 6:29 that you want to bring up?
Going to talk about the contest this Saturday.
Excellent. Yes, indeed. All of the areas in Division C will be in their contest, the humorous and the international contest. And that's going to be this Saturday starting at 9 a.m. at Palo Verde High School over in Summerlin near the Costco. So if you need information, send me an email. My email address is on the screen and we will get you there. And if you want to attend Toastmasters or Holistic, please send me an email and I can connect you. If you didn't get the word from Guy, we'll get you there. Holistic meets this coming Monday at 11:30, both in person and online, and Toastmasters meets tomorrow, right? Friday, also in person and online. And the good thing about Skinny Dugan's is you can get a really nice breakfast there.
Yeah, we really appreciate Skinny. Shout out to Skinny Dugan's, their support of the Toastmasters community. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, there are a couple of clubs that meet there, and they have pretty decent food, and it's very reasonably priced. So we're going to sign off today and say thank you, everyone, for attending. Hopefully you learned something from our session today. And Phyllis and I will be back on Tuesday, but tomorrow, I think Jean Williams will be here, our district director, and she covers Monday and Friday. Phyllis and I cover Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Jennifer Smith, our Division D director, covers Wednesdays. So have a great week, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend, I should say.
Bye.
Bye-bye.